Hello! Hello, my lovers on the other side of the internet land. I'm MJ from Ultra Love and Ultra Love TV. I'm the founder of Ultra Love, which propagates sustainability, spirituality, and freedom. Mainly, we've got to get connected, people. I don't even know what to say anymore because I've been ranting about this stuff for quite a while, as many have. It just becomes kind of gag-worthy, in fairness. Ugh. God, nobody knows. We're all just probably talking too much, including myself. Whatever I rant about, I do it all as well. Oh, look. So I do tarot because that's another part of my guided journey, and I read intuitively and offers clarity and affirmative divine guidance and loving clarity. That's my simple intention with tarot. I hope it brings you some joy, some love, some divine guidance and loving clarity. And if you're not resonating over yonder, then just flick on your phone, because that's where we're at. You know, we don't necessarily talk anymore as humans. We just all stare at our phones, and that seems to be the course of life. Except for it's not, there's loads of us that are endeavoring another sort of peaceful vibratory with the earth and the land, and making stuff and kind of returning to innocence, if we remember what that's like. Anywho, my lovers, so I bring you peace, love, and joy from a deep feeler over here. All those deep, highly sensitive, empathic, people-pleasing wounds we're all working through, people who resonate with me anyway. And, seeing through the bullshit of manipulation, predatory, vibratory. Oh, it's mega supreme. Anyway, power to the people. Holla Shazam. Okay, so let's pull some cards. So, my lovers, divine guidance and loving clarity, in all loving seriousness or not, my intention is to do that with these cards. Tarot is fascinating. So is the intuition, infinite intelligence, and the evolution of our species. Come on. Empathy and compassion go a long way to make the world a better place. Sometimes I break into song. Anyway, thanks, you guys. There's so many amazing people that I've met on the internet, and I feel so grateful for you, because honestly, some of you, as you know, have been lifelines when things were mega rough in my personal life. So continue to, work on the self and hope for the best. It seems to be the miracle. We're in the Life Share crew. We're currently going through the Course in Miracles, which I saw about 10 years ago, and clearly I need to rework it. Is it worth it? We're gonna bang down, flip it, and reverse it, all that. So here we go. Empress and Ten of Cups so far are the cards that I've pulled. So there's some major power shifts as far as coming into a greater alignment with your desires, ultimately. And, life continues. I'll continue to empower people to love themselves and to commit to what you're being guided to in any given moment as well, because sometimes we can't necessarily, we can't, not sometimes, we can't control one another. It's not actual true power to just manipulation, control people. Power is from the purity of our heart, in connection to the source of all that we are. So, okay, hala. Oh. I just don't know what I say sometimes. Okay, so more cards here. Ooh, Chariot, moving forward in all of your grace and power from the Empress. 10 of Cups. I would say, believe in your dreams, yo. Believe in your dreams, and you're going to be guided forward. There's this Queen of Cups here as well. Let's get a few more cards on this vibratory. So this is super epic, actually, mega success transformation. 10 of Cups. Is there some more guidance on that? So yeah, I would say really focus on your personal power and integrity, what you're desiring, what you're wanting. You will be guided forward in that sense. And there's something here about maybe, continue to conjure and dream up your most loving life. But for now, for some of you, the dream is still in the imagination realms, and you're having to ground yourself into, the Chariot makes me feel into greater balance. Eventually you'll be guided, you'll feel the inspiration, and that will fill up your cup. because we want to be feeling really good, inspired, that kind of creative flow energy in a passionate sense as well. We want to feel that moving forward, which requires us to be in our power and to be inspired, right? To feel magical or miraculous, to feel like you can be and do and have all the things that you want. But of course there's such depth to all the Shazam around manifestation vibration, where it's like moving forward in a sense of balance through like divinely guided purpose is quite supreme, and it's pretty easy, I would say, to get distracted by people, places, things, and technology. There's so much information and indeed misinformation on the internet that increasingly it's like the only guidance that any of us have to really rely on is our heart, is our own connection to our own heart and soul. And then to not be in judgment or to not be in fear, and to be able to process our emotions to the best of our ability, and ideally have people in our lives that can support that process as well. Because I would dare say that is, looking at the state of things, that mainly the world and its people, we need healing, we need to reconnect. We live on a planet maybe we could look after the planet better, maybe we could look after ourselves better. And there's so much trauma, there's so much like pain and trauma, like on every level of our society and within our family dynamics. And all we can do is heal that. To find that love within ourselves, and to then from within that love create it in our communities, create it in our workspaces, create it in our home life. And someone endeavoring that in earnest, it's not easy, it's not like obvious necessarily, and it requires a whole bunch of faith and like a sense of like continually recommitting to ourselves, to our faith, to our desired joy, and our ability to have what we actually desire, which then requires us to communicate that stuff. And it's constantly sort of stirring up different emotion, right? So we're all having to heal a lot of like deep shit for a lack of a more eloquent word. So yeah, this is a really actually like a powerful read, as far as no outside source is going to come along and like put the wand abracadabra for your magic spell. You have to get the key for yourself. You're probably going to have to like be inspired to move with that key, and open some different doors to your life. I feel like for some of you, this magician is making me feel like some of you might be looking back, or there could be people from the past coming back. There's been a whole cycle in the last 2 years with Mars and movement forward and discerning what we really want in the context of love and war. And I mean, that has a lot to do with our own personal self-worth and our ability to take action in an empowered sense. But then obviously like, depending on the side of the fence that we're on, like communicating that desire for love, or communicating that desire for conflict, depending on where you're at. So looking back, it could be about readdressing certain energy dynamics in a greater balance, and again, that's partly to do with the self-responsibility in our ability to communicate that, our ability to communicate our needs, our wants, our desires. And like for some of you, allowing those creative ideas to really gestate and trust that you have the power to look after them. Nice. So the Sun card is there's a lot of major arcana here, you guys. So I would say like we're in a phase of like pretty powerful shape shifting. Like, so you might think you're going in one direction, and then nope, you're going in another direction actually. And that can be, again, getting messages. None of it feels too like, there's no tower moment, thank God. Like right now I would dare say a lot of people have already had those tower moments, right? But you're definitely being guided forward in a greater sense of your inner power. And connected to Earth, I feel the Empress is the collective energy, like coming into greater emotional mastery as well. So that's something that's super duper important for the collective, is that I want to say like a sort of psycho-spiritual connection, which a lot of our sort of modern cultures or whatever have completely lost that connection. And yet delving into those deeper spiritual connections can often be quite an energetic minefield, as it were, with regards to like power, control, and how energy works, right? And so this is something, Eckhart Tolle, different spiritual teachers talk about this all the time, but like the depth of knowing, of getting to know the self, has to do with getting to know quite an extensive power play within your own energy, and how the energy works from within you, especially the more transformative and sort of the more emotional alchemy you do within yourself, the more, you could say, pure your heart becomes. And so that discernment ability to be listening to your intuition is straight up supreme, because your heart is the discernment, not somebody else's word, including my own. Don't listen to me, you guys. Listen to your heart. And it's calling for you. Is it Roxanne or Roxette? Roxanne. Just, for some of you, this could be to do with like connecting to dolphin spirit, and but also the energy. Oh, look, there's more dolphins. So playfulness, which, oh God, I feel it. Sometimes life just gets so serious, and for whatever reason, I feel it too, of like these deep triggers that keep coming up around painful emotional neglect or abandonment, feeling isolated, feeling all alone, and then the kind of the polarity of our desire to create loving community and loving support systems, and actually, create a world that represents a loving home for as many people as possible. Oh, to love. I mean, that would be nice. People have always called me like a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. It's just straight up legit. You know it. Anyway, you guys, I think that's all for now. I'm feeling a bit funny, and you never know, but I love you all loads, because I just don't know what else to do sometimes. And lots of energies but getting cleared out as well. So Hal Shazam yourself, you guys. Keep on swimming. Just keep on going, because if you're here, you're here, and you're meant to be here. And loving yourself is a great way to heal and find a greater pathway to deeper connection with the people who are also trying to love themselves more. And because they recognize that's the best way to make the world a more loving place, because we are the world. We are the children. I don't know if those are the words. Do 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 do. Anyway, you guys, have an awesome day. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for being my friend. I appreciate it big time. Okay, love you loads. Peace out.